there, YouTube. It's Brian from B-Tech and Stuff. It's a long time coming. I've had this device for quite some time now. I would say probably a year and a half, 2 years. It is the RoboRock S7. And as always, these are my own experiences, so keep that in mind. This is the best vacuum cleaner investment that I've had, and I've had a couple before. I've had Roombas. I have had some other knockoff that does automatic emptying. This one is actually automatic emptying and automatic mopping and cleaning. Okay, so this one video here will be about the care and maintenance, because like anything else, I mean, it's the convenience and everything like that, but you do have to maintain it. There will be some links to replacement parts and such that you might want to do. I've used and found to be helpful. Okay, this is going to be a little bit longer than normal, so I'll see what I can do about making chapter marks if I can figure that out. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get this thing clean.
All right, so this is pretty real time, so you can imagine that you should set aside about an hour to clean your RoboRock. You can see it's pretty dirty, and full disclosure, it's not as dirty as it used to be because about a week ago I did another deep clean. So you'll obviously want to unplug it from the wall, remove your clean water tank as I'm doing here. I love the clean water tank. It's my favorite tank out of all of them because you've had this tank right here, you know, could exercise your gag reflex, obviously. So that's the dirty water tank. Make sure you get those out. The good news is that you can't mess these up. They only fit in the right spot. So here's just the cover I removed from the vacuum bag, and obviously take the machine out. I don't know why it seems like I have a Canadian accent. I just came back from Canada, so maybe they've got me converted or something. So roll up your sleeves for this one. It can get funky. Take off any jewelry you might have. Be a good idea. It just kind of gets in the way and can be messy. You don't have to put gloves on, but I just did because, again, some of it's kind of nasty to touch, and you know, unless you want to clean your fingernails all the time, go ahead and do that. So one of the things that has happened to me a couple of times since we have a golden retriever is that, like, this golden retriever fur everywhere. Now this bag doesn't seem to be too full for a week's worth of cleaning, so that's going to be investigated during this. Now this setup actually, you know, when you pull this out, it closes the bag, and when you put it in, it kind of opens it up. So as you can see, the tuft of fur over there already, so I'm bringing this forward to you so you can kind of see what to do if you get notifications that your ducts are blocked. You kind of reach in there, again, a good reason for the gloves, kind of pull out those golden retriever dreadlocks or whatever might be in there. I've found lots of interesting things. Toothpick was in there, hair ties, elastics, stirring straws, regular straws. I mean, it'll end up in there. So just kind of feel in there and make sure nothing's blocked. There may be another video that I do that kind of shows you on the bottom of this unit. There's an airway that could be blocked. Most of the time I find it's not that's blocked. It's right there inside where the bag attaches. So in these times where there's, I'm noticing a bunch of space and time that passes, probably because I was fetching the vacuum cleaner, I am going to cut them out so that you don't have to have a bunch of air, and it's all just information about what you need. So here's me with the vacuum cleaner here. This is one of those Dyson cordless ones. I just kind of, there's like some things that end up in there that you might want to zip out with a vacuum cleaner, or canned air, either way, whatever. Just kind of get that all nice and tidied up. So then at this point is where I would start to clean up. Lysol wipes, if you have them, you don't need to do that. You could like wet a towel, or use some of that Fabuloso that I love the smell of so much. But just the water tank, as you can see there on the bottom left, has like this rubber cone that allows a good fit between the tank and the tubing. Just that can get kind of funky, so wipe it, get all the golden retriever fur and stuff off of it and dust. Remember, this is a pretty hefty investment. They go for about $1,200. It's 100% worth it. But what I'm saying is, it's $1,200. It's a great investment. You should be doing this probably at least once a month, just to keep it looking really nice. Now, as you can see from this shot, like, it's nasty in there. It really is. So there's a couple of things you'll take out. In the right corner is this filter, and that can get kind of full of yuck and garbage and smell pretty terrible. And the other thing, you gotta lift this little red lever, and it's a small brush, and this small brush actually goes back and forth, and it cleans off the bottom of the mop, and it squeezes out all the nasty water. So you want to make sure that's all nice and clean, like pull any golden retriever fur or anything off of that. Now, since I've owned this, I've had a couple of things that went wrong, which I'll have videos on. So I've talked to support quite often, and they're very reliable. I mean, they'll get back to you. It's not usually that day, but they'll get back to you within a day. Here I'm just rinsing off this filter, this water filter. Basically what it does is this thing filters out any solid particles or fur or anything from the mop that might be stuck, which shouldn't really be a whole lot, especially if you're using this every day. But it will stop that from kind of getting into the water system. So, as I was saying, I contacted RoboRock support, and I was like, is there an easy way to clean inside this docking station? Like, is there like a special thing, tray or something you can pull out? And the answer to that was no, there really isn't. So it's super okay. Don't sweat like getting the what I'm doing here, this little spray nozzle from the sink, like getting it in there. I put it on spray because it seems to work better in getting all the particles and junk off. So I use hot water, as you can see the steam, and kind of do that a few times, right, just to loosen up a lot of the stuck on nastiness. And then wipe it down. So you're gonna have to, and it's deep in the corners, so like in the left and the right corners, it's not it's not just kind of straight, it kind of goes in. So what you're gonna want to do is grab that paper towel, here I'm using a paper towel, and just kind of really push it into the corners and make sure you get all the gunk that's hiding in there. Yep. So the small sled in the middle where that brush is, that's on a belt and some tracks. So you can go ahead and move that. You can move it all the way, don't worry about that. Move it away so that if there's anything underneath it, you can kind of grab that. There's a good shot of my bald spot I never get to see. So I took some loving time here. Oh, this little area here that I'm putting that paper towel in, you'll see a little bit later. Yeah, see, if you tilt it to the left, all that water will come out. So that's actually the area that feeds the collection bag, right? It comes out, creates a seal and a suction underneath the unit, and it sucks out all of the garbage that's stored inside of it. So make sure you get all the water out of there. So tilt it to the left, get the water out of there, and then throw the paper towel in there to kind of dry it up. Give it some love. Give it a nice little cleaning there. Make sure all the fur and stuff is off of it. Again, you can use Lysol wipes if you want. Paper towels is good to clean it up. Paper towels are good to clean it up. Not is. Also in there you can see that there's like a little sensor. So you want to make sure you clean that sensor off as a close-up view of that. I mean, it's not perfect and you're not going to get it perfect, but pretty good is better than not. See, the corner is kind of nasty. So I'll go over that again at some point. But right there in the middle of that arc is a little sensor. You want to wipe that little lens in there, make sure it's nice and clean. Clean. But yeah, here I am with this is a Lysol wipe. It's kind of foamy. You know, as I said, this is a $1,200 purchase. Give it a good, it's really serving you every day. For me, I started with 2 cleanings a day. I do a full, just regular vac only cleaning at noontime, and then at night I do a full vac and full intense mopping. I have since changed that, so I do the 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then the mopping at night. And the reason why I did that is because I was always finding that my little vacuum bin was super full of dog fur. Because I have a golden retriever, and there's like at least a golden retriever's worth of fur that comes off of him every single day. So your mileage may vary on that. Here I am just kind of really wiping off that filter that goes into the bottom right corner. Get those grates. That little floater thing there. Okay. Just pop it in, kind of goes into the corner and push down. It's very intuitive. As far as that brush goes, you get as much fur off of it as you can and rinse it with water. You might have missed the rinsing part. I did rinse it underwater. So lift that lever, put it back in. There's a square end that goes into the back side, so you'll see where the square is a square. And put that lever down. So here's where that's all done. So the base unit's done. Now the dirty water, I hate this. Especially if it's full, like it smells like New York City sewer. Looks like New York City sewer. I dump this right in the toilet. I really do. It's nasty. It's gross. Sometimes my kids leave my bathroom that gross, but I am just going to, you know, dump it in there. Ugh. It's best to hold your breath before you do this, and until you get into fresh air. Just a fair warning. I can't even understand this. My house is mopped every night at midnight, and it still comes out like that. Just goes to show you, like, what's on the floor. So, in all honesty, this time I am going to give this little nasty vessel a little bit of love, and I haven't for, like, since I owned it. So it's pretty nasty. So I'm going to start with spraying it down with some really hot water, which isn't going to do anything, but just makes me feel better. I'm sure at a subatomic level maybe it's doing something, but it's not. So here I'm going to empty it out. You can see down there, if you really look carefully, there is like a lot of stuff that's stuck on the edge, like some brownie batter or something. You don't want to be eating this brownie. So here I'm going to try something stupid. I'm going to shake it. As you can see, it's kind of going everywhere. So don't be me. Don't shake it. It really doesn't help. You'll see, and the corner came off there. It's keyed. It's got like you'll find it out. It only goes in one way, so don't force it. So empty that stuff out, what hasn't splashed all over the entire kitchen, and get smart. Which is grab some paper towels and get in there. That's why the gloves, my friends, the gloves. Get in there and kind of wipe as much as you can. Remember, I have not cleaned this tank in a year and a half, so if you don't do this every month, it's okay. But if you want to really be a good RoboRock mom or dad, you want to get in there and do this. Plus, it may not smell as terrible if you do this. I'm not sure. I'll have to let you know. Nasty. I didn't want to touch the, I didn't even want to touch the handle for the trash after I've been in there. So after you wipe it out, you can hit it with the water again. Should be a lot easier to kind of get that off. I put my hand kind of over the top of the spray to limit the spray back. As you can see, I kind of got spray on my shirt. Nice. So I think I hit it again with some paper towels. Some nice dry paper towels. Got the little floaty McBob, or whatever the technical name is for that thing on the top, which tells the system that it's full. You can grab that gasket and kind of give it a wipe. Make sure that seals good. And then give it all, dry it off with the towel. You see a lot of that nasty stuff. And you can even see the inside where I wasn't able to get all the way down there. I mean, if you really want it to be thorough, you could have a special bottle brush that's just for this. You just want to make sure that nobody uses it for actual stuff you drink out of. Just put it aside and make it a RoboRock brush. So they do sell some RoboRock detergent, and they do say that, if you don't use their detergent, it could eat the hoses and stuff inside here. I have occasionally used a solution that wasn't from RoboRock. It's the Bissell Pet Clean and Natural. Smells nice. So I just kind of use that. I add a little bit. I don't follow the directions on it. I just put a little splash in there. The idea is just to, put some sort of a cleaning agent and make the floor smell nice. So I'm going to put not the spray, but you know, the regular type of faucet on there, because depending on how much you put in there, it can get really sudsy and you don't want to do that. This water bin, the fresh water bin, does have a max line. You want to kind of go not past the max line. You can see it right there. And you know, I don't do it every time, but it's a good idea just when you think about it and the machine isn't running to just top that off and check the dirty water. Or every couple of days. Dry this one off, just like the other. This is your friend, it doesn't smell at all. And then just kind of wipe off the top of the vacuum bag cover. This isn't there for anything, just to make it look nice and wonderful and the same. Now when you put it on, you got to be careful not to pinch the bag, because the bag kind of doesn't fit so well inside. So let's go put them back. Dirty water first. I pulled that up. I don't know why. I figured it was going to be really heavy, but it wasn't. So that's why it looks like I was surprised, because it was. So that one goes on the far end. Just push it down. There's no clicking or anything. Clean water goes in the middle. Again, you can't mess them up. You know, clean water has one, dirty water has two. Put the plug in there. No. Here's the bag. Put the bag in there. It opens up when you put it in, like tuck it in. Put the lid on. A little ledge goes to the back. You're gonna get a close-up as I massage the bag into place. There we go. Alright, and then you can actually see that once you've got it plugged in and it's happy, there is a white light on it. So now we're going to go to the machine. As you can see, it is dirty. Super dirty. Inside, under the hood, is the bag, and as you can see, I've got a golden retriever. So seeing stuff in there like that means it is not emptying effectively. That could be for any number of reasons. We'll discuss here in this video or in a later video. But open that up, pull out the filter, and go ahead and grab that second dog out of there. And you can blow out or tap out that filter. It's probably a good idea. As you can see, I got it all over my shoe and the floor. Nice. Don't be me. You don't want to put it back that way, so I'll grab my handy second safety vac here and zip that out. Kind of get in the hole in that little area. There you go. And as you can see there, something fell out, and that's interesting. As I'm reading this sign that's near this trap door that I never knew was there, it says if you have an auto emptying dock like I do here on this S7 Ultra, it says the door should be removed. So this might be one of the reasons why the emptying is not so efficient. So if you're seeing that too, I would just check. If you've got the dock like I do, just make sure that door is off and there isn't anything blocking it. Now this might have been off by default on the systems that you buy altogether. I did get sent a replacement that was just the machine. So it could be that when you just get the standalone that's in place, and when you get the one with the dock, it's not. You know, I never realized it was there. So you just check that out and see if I'm right. I'll be interested in finding out if yours was there, if it solved some of your problems, if it's always been there, if you ever saw it before, if you knew anything about it. Write a comment below. Let me know. So this is the S7 MaxV. So I'm pretty sure most of them are the same, but just check it out. You could wipe on the inside here. I think it's the one thing I forgot to do on the inside of that. I just reassembled and put back the bin. Oh yeah, here. So that's like a door. So I imagine if we had taken that panel off, what happens is the air, when it gets vacuumed out, sucks that door open, so it's easier for the system to suck up all the fur or dirt or whatever you got. So this should be very much better than it's ever run in a while. So here you can hit it with a Lysol wipe or paper towel and spray or whatever you want to do. Just give it some love. As I said, $1,200 investment. You can do this. It's working for you several times a day. You can definitely give it some care and feeding here. And the one thing I notice, and like cleaning in general, like I don't know what it is. Is it my house? Is it just in general? But like although I'm like cleaning this off, like there's like hair and fur and dust and all sorts of weird stuff that just doesn't come off. So I'll show you what we can do with that later. Alright, so we're gonna start to clean the bottom of this. There's some sensors here. They're like little windows all around. You want to make sure that those are nice and cleaned off and not dirty. Those are what the unit uses to kind of sense where it is and also not fall off a cliff. And also in the front, the cameras and sensors on the sides, make sure those are nice and clean. All right, so toilet paper. I have found, for some reason, I don't know, it's amazing. So you use this and it really cleans off all the hair and stuff. I use this to like clean off the bathroom toilet itself. It's easy because it tends to pick up all of the hair and weirdness, and you can flush it right after. So, I mean, that's a win-win, isn't it? Try that out. It's a life hack. So I've got this corner in my kitchen, which is perfect because that little bump there on the bottom or the top, I don't want to really rest it on there. I think that's a bad idea. So I just put it in the corner. Tends to balance. Be careful if yours isn't deep enough that, you know, it might fall off, and I don't want you to blame me. So again, golden retriever here and this squid. As you can see, it's rolling up as I'm taking the screw out. So just kind of pick the fur and whatever else is stuck on there out of there. And in the description, I am going to have information on where you can get an extra repair parts kit for this. Like some of these will eventually wind down and you'll want to replace them. The bags, the screws, everything like that. So you can just use a screwdriver or a pencil or something to dislodge this little wheel. It's a roller wheel. Pull out all the fur that's in there on either side. And then just push it back in. There you go. So those repair kits that I'll have a link to will also have like replacement main brushes like this. Now I haven't really cleaned this, so I'm going to do this in the sink. So it looks kind of nasty. Plus, you know, cleaning this can be like meditative. You're so used to doing it, after doing it once a month, you can just kind of do this and zone out. This has on the sides a couple of mini brushes, so make sure you give those some love too. Might be in between those little bumps. You know, make sure you dry that off pretty nice. You don't want to put that back in wet. You can shake it out to get most of the trapped water out and then just rinse the surface off, or dry it off rather with a paper towel. Front and back, clean. And it'll look like brand new. We'll put that one aside and we'll go back to the RoboRock. So this has two different types of ends. One end, that top pulls off, and then that gray pulls off, and then you can pull out all the golden retriever that's stuck in there. For some people this may be considered satisfying. To me, not really. You could try getting a pen in there, kind of pull some of this out, break the tip like I just did there. Whatever, a small screwdriver might be a better choice if you had one handy. As you can see, within the base unit there, underneath the brush, those aren't golden retriever fur, that's pug quills. So if you've got a pug, you know what I'm talking about. You can see like some of the fur and stuff that gets wrapped around this can actually cut into the rubber, leave like a gouge. So that's why, you know, there's not an infinite life on this. So this other side, you have to twist. If you push down, push in, and twist, you can take that light gray off. So one is a pull out, and the other one is a push down, and give it a counterclockwise twist. Goes on the opposite way. This other side, push that gray on, and push the black one on. Done. So you put that aside, or if you have one of the kits, you know, and your main brush kind of looks like that, you might want to replace it. When I order my next kit, I'm going to be replacing it because that one's looking pretty rough. And then this brush here kind of moves up and down a little bit, and you might get your screwdriver or your pencil in there and kind of dislodge some of that pug fur that might be in there or whatever's stuck. Of course, because I'm doing this, I didn't really see and hear all that stuff. If I had looked, I would have tried a little bit harder. And you know, I don't believe I did it, but you could just actually wipe inside here. As you can see, it looks pretty foul. Also, a canned air might be good, but remember that if you put the canned air in there, you're going to be blowing all those little fur particles everywhere. Maybe that's not what you want to do. So put that back in. So the mop has two side things that you'll push in and kind of slide to you, and you can move that entire mop system off. You actually don't have to have the machine with the mop system in place, but I don't, with a machine like this, why would you want to take it off all the time? The spare parts kit that's linked also has like additional mops. You can throw these in the laundry and kind of clean them off, but you know, I don't do that. Maybe I should. I don't know. I just think it's easy to replace. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I should start doing that. It's wasteful just to throw it away. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just funky and dirty, right? So I'm just going to throw this in the sink for now. I'm going to put some regular old dish soap on it, and then I'm just going to get the rough end of the sponge on that and kind of clean off some of that funkiness. It smells good too. So the machine, actually, the dock does this cleaning pretty well with that scrub brush, but we're just gonna extend this here. Give it a good squeeze, get most of the water out. There you go. And then that actually has like a spine. If you've ever put on a band for an Apple Watch, you kind of know what this is sort of like. So what you do is you grab the black plastic sled, and you can see there in the corner it's got that groove. We're gonna fit that groove in with the very outside of the mop pad. It won't focus, but that's okay. Slide that on all the way in, and then I kind of pull it out with my hand and lay it down. If you've ever put on a screen protector, it should be easy for you. Take off the fluff. And then this goes in, doesn't push down, it slides in from the front to the back until you hear a click, and it will tell you that the mop system is back in place. So those are the major cleanup points of this machine. You might want to hit it with another Lysol wipe there, because it's probably pretty filthy from zipping across your house. Just give it a good wipe. And again, make sure, the most important thing on the back side here are the sensors. Make sure those little windows have had a nice little wipe and dry. And then I'm just taking a paper towel here and drying that off. Hope I noticed that big piece of fur. Well, I didn't, as I just took it away. So at this point you can just pop it back in the dock. Here is the ramp that comes with it. It kind of fell off when I was picking it up. Just give that a good wipe. Put some dish soap on it. Hit it with a sponge. You know, this could probably trap like dirt and stuff in those little treads. That's kind of the whole point of it. And if you do the back like I'm doing, just make sure that you dry the bottom as best as possible, because you don't want it to be wet underneath this on your floor. So you can shake it, you can wipe it, you can dab it, just get it as dry as possible. Those little honeycombs, I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. They just catch water. I would rather see it just flat. Sure, there's 100% reason why it's like that. Maybe weight, I don't know. Stability, I don't know. But it can trap water in there. So just shake it out, dab it out. It should be good to go. As long as it's not a lot of water. So this one just goes in, you kind of line it up and push it down. It doesn't push in, it pushes down. And it'll click, you'll know. So then you can hit the home button and it will go home. Occasionally, like this time, I couldn't find the dock for some reason. It just wandered around my kitchen. So I am just going to stop that bit there and not bore you with that.